if local recording is if you're sitting in two different places.
Oh,
But
okay.
we are live.
We are live.
So-
Hey, we're live. Good morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. Good morning, Vice Chair Ross.
Good morning, Dr. S. How are you?
I'm doing great. I hope
I
everyone's
got my
doing.
coffee.
And so do I. Yep. And don't you love the mugs?
Yeah, two different styles.
That's right.
That's a latte.
Yeah, I like lattes.
Yes.
Yeah, I like them plain. I don't, with my sugar, I don't put anything in sugar in it.
Yes, exactly.
Just the coffee and the cream.
Yeah.
Or in this case, I guess a real latte is milk. But anyway, anyone can get a coffee cup if they want
Where
to.
can they get
They
it?
can come right here to the front office and buy
Awesome.
one. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
very cool.
Cool.
So very available stuff. Yeah.
Well, we have a different topic,
We
a
do.
different style of doing coffee with the principals.
As promised.
Yes.
Yep.
So, and you even did a slide presentation.
I did. I can't help it. It's just an Army officer thing. You do.
Right.
Yes. You brief the commanders and everybody, but slide deck. We call it death by PowerPoint.
Well,
It's just-
let's not. Yeah, we don't.
No, we don't say it that way. Yeah.
It'll be very interesting.
It's a very interesting PowerPoint.
Yes.
Yes, but we love PowerPoint. So, So, as we talked about, we want to have this to be more than just dumping out information. I mean, do that in emails and all that. That there's no fun in that.
Right.
So these we're doing, presentations, information kind of things like this morning's topic, and then of course interviews. Those are actually the best.
Yes.
When we can bring people on and
we are
interview them.
scheduling an interview for next week, hopefully. So,
We are
yeah.
exactly. So, but today's topic is near and dear to all of us, I hope, because it's why we're in business.
It's in our name.
It's in our name.
Yes.
We're going to talk about apprenticeships today.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. So here's my little agenda this morning again. Always
Gotta have an agenda,
Gotta have
yes.
agenda so people could follow along and stuff. And it's like
Right.
not going to be long. I know. But first, I want to thank everyone who showed up for the open houses last night for the Wednesday and Thursday. So they've seen my agendas, and this one I promise is not going to be any hidden slides or anything. This one is good, especially since you're running it, not me.
Well, hopefully. Ooh,
So-
now the pressure's on.
Yeah. So the agenda is going to be seen with no missing slides or anything. So
Yeah.
I want to talk about the pre-apprenticeship, because at the high school level, that's what we are, and how do my students actually get registered,
Okay.
and then finally, who are what kind of current apprenticeship opportunities do we have?
Okay.
So with that, why don't we get going?
All right.
Okay. So
What is a pre-apprentice?
very, very good question.
Yes.
Because there is a distinct difference between the pre-apprenticeship and what they call an apprenticeship.
Okay.
But either one you look at, it's what we call a work-based learning opportunity. So while a student is in school, it is actually part of their coursework, and in addition to whatever they get paid, they also earn academic credit for their work-based learning opportunity.
Okay.
And because we're at the high school level, they call it a pre-apprenticeship or a youth apprenticeship, because they're not quite adults yet. So
Sure.
And typically have to be 16 or older. And I say 16 or older. I can't say 16 to 18, because we know there are some students that are even above the age of 18, but there's
Sure.
16 years and older. And there's two parts of the pre-apprenticeship. There's training, and then there's work. So when you put up training here, what we're talking about there is the coursework specifically that you need to be an apprentice. Let's just say if you wanted to be go into a pre-apprentice to be a carpenter, for instance.
Okay.
So you could take the carpenter courses first, and then you would go ahead, and then you could take then you do the work-based part, where you're actually working on site, whether it be at a construction site or in a manufacturing facility, to actually work side by side with the adults who will be in charge of you and teaching you the skills from an actual employee standpoint. Okay, and then the final part, which many of our students are interested in, is the earn while you learn. And what that is, just like it says, so while you're in high school, you actually interview for the pre-apprenticeship, and then if you're accepted, then you become an employee of that company. And while you're working for them, and while you're in high school, you're actually earning a paycheck. And of course, depending on the company, depending on what the wage scale is that you agree to with the employer, depends on how much money you make. But while you're in school, you're actually earning money. Because we all remember, any of us went to school. Sometimes, we have to earn money. We go work in a restaurant or whatever. But in this opportunity, you get to do it during school hours.
Okay.
To
Okay.
earn that
That
money.
is a difference.
It is a big difference. You don't have
Okay.
to wait till after school. You actually, it's part of your school day, which is huge.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. So here's the next thing. So a big part. So how do students register for a pre-apprenticeship?
How do they register?
Excellent question, because it just doesn't happen. We actually have a process, and it starts in the 10th grade. And we actually began it this year is our formal beginning of this program, where at the end of the 10th grade, we require every student to pick a career pathway.
Okay. And will the pathways be defined?
Yes, we have defined pathways for them, but because of the flexible nature of being a charter school, if there's something a student wants to do that they don't see, we will do our best to work within those parameters. Like, for instance, I'm going to meet with a student this week, and what that student wants to work, wants to do an apprenticeship, but outside of the it's like more of a teaching, or more of an educational thing, because he wants to use his degree. Is it a little bit more challenging than finding, let's say, a trades one? Sure, but that's our job to find them. So whatever they want to do, even if it's outside of the pathway, we do our best to find sponsors for that particular program. But we also realize, I know some of our students have expressed the concern, well, what if I pick something and then I don't want to do it? Well, we realize that, everyone's kids change their mind. Heck, adults change their mind. So
Right.
We know students do. So it's not like you're locked into it. But when we when we leave for the summer, between our sophomore and junior year, we have to have a pathway that we're ready to begin the next year, which of course leads us to the next one. Our junior year, 11th grade.
11th grade. What do you do in 11th grade?
Well, 11th grade, we're taking our formal coursework for the pathway we have selected. So, and let's go back to it. Let's just say you decide you wanted to be a welder, because there's certain courses we offer here to get your pathway, and there's certain courses because we don't have it here. We work with the community college through the Career and College Promise program.
That gives you the broad spectrum of classes to take.
Yes.
Okay.
And from a student standpoint, it's great because they get a high school credit, they get their college credit, and of course they get the coursework they need for the school. So let's take welding, for example. So we have students that are in and have been in the welding program at SPCC.
Sure.
So they're learning to be welders, and they're taking the coursework they need in the 11th grade. And then once they finish all that, and it doesn't matter whether you're welding, a trade, whatever it is, 11th grade is mostly spent in the training phase. Is there an opportunity to do actual work at the time? Sure. It just all depends on the particular pathway they select. But so they take the coursework they need in 11th grade, and then at the summer between the 11th and 12th grade, they still may be taking more courses, or they're getting ready for the senior year to, guess what? To do that pre-apprenticeship and actually start working.
Sure.
And our high school schedule, our master schedule, is built specifically for students to be able to do that. It's built so most of the courses, the core courses students take, they have to knock it out in the 9th and 10th and part of the 11th grade. But the schedule is such that there's time built in for students to take the coursework and then to work after school. So, and a good example of that would be typically, by the time a student gets to be a senior, they only have a couple of courses left to graduate, so that they have the whole rest of the day to, guess what? To work and learn and learn a skill. That is what our schedule is designed and built for. So it is built for those students to get the skills they need. So when they graduate and they walk across that aisle in May, they have two things: a diploma and a work credential of some kind, whatever the field is. So
and experience on a resume.
That's
a big
to put
deal.
in there. Exactly.
Yeah.
And no matter where they go, what they do, they will always have that. That could never be taken away. So very exciting. It's what we do. It's what a mission here, and we're very intentional about it.
Awesome.
So we're always here to answer questions during the day. But that's really the process. So everyone needs to understand we do have a formal process, a logical process to get there, and we're going to try and get as many students as we possibly can in it. So
So do we have some?
we do.
All right.
Actually, we currently have a couple of active apprenticeships right now for student interest. One is automotive, because automotive is huge. All our automotive students, they love Mr. Watkins, our automotive
Because
teacher.
he's awesome.
He is very awesome, and we're going to get him on on the show one day,
Absolutely.
so he could.
That'd be great.
It would be so he
Yeah.
could talk about all the things about automotive. He's very experienced, great teacher. Students love him, and which leads into our first apprenticeship this year. We already have him working, Andrew Thomford, and he's working at Summerfield and Son Automotive in Waxhaw.
That's awesome.
Yes, it's very, very exciting. And then we also just closed a couple of weeks ago 2 signed apprenticeship programs. Now, although we have students working in them, they are graduates in May. So we had to finalize the paperwork for them to be the apprenticeships. But one is at JARS, and if you remember, that's the missionary campus, also in Waxhaw, and then of
Okay.
course through Chick-fil-A Corporation.
Now, seeing Chick-fil-A, and you and I have talked about this
Yes.
a little bit different. How is an apprenticeship different than just going to work at Chick-fil-A?
That's an excellent question, because the students you typically see working in Chick-fil-A, you see them outside, or when I say outside,
At the
the front.
register.
Yeah, at the register. I guess the
Or
technical term is
in
the
the-
front of house.
Yes.
The front of house. So, and that's a great job, but those ones are not really the career-oriented
Okay.
jobs.
Okay.
So what our apprenticeship is, that's actually the career-oriented jobs, because remember, someone has to design the menu and cook the food. So
Right.
students in the Chick-fil-A apprenticeship program, they're actually learning how to cook.
Okay.
They are learning how to build menus, how to, in the whole process of being a cook in a kitchen.
Okay.
So that is the difference.
Now, I've seen in other portions of different filming that we've done for the culinary, where they are working at like food costs and some of the entrepreneurial side
Right.
of
Yeah,
culinary.
there's that too.
Okay.
But here the primary mission obviously is learning to do the cooking part. But yeah, there's
Okay.
the others as well.
Okay.
And of course, we all know how I'm not advertising for Chick-fil-A, but I think those of us who live in this area realize how successful
Yes.
of a restaurant, at least seemingly on the surface, how successful it is and how many students work there. So great environment for our students. We're fortunate to have them as a partner, and of course we have existing partners, and we have more that we're going to grow this year. And that's why it's important that we meet with students throughout the year to find out what their interests are, so that we can make sure we have business partners to place them in their apprenticeships.
Okay.
So really, that's about it for the apprenticeship.
Great.
Yeah.
So how can, say, a company is looking to formalize an apprenticeship program with the school, how do they start that conversation?
That conversation starts with me here at the school, actually.
Okay.
So and then
So they can go to the website, aacampus.org,
Yep.
and the staff directory has you listed, and there's a
does.
form if they want to send it to you directly.
Directly, or they can just send it through the info page,
Yeah, the
and
contact us.
and it'll still
Yes.
get to me.
Okay.
Ideally, they click on me, but it also
Right.
gets me the other way. But yes, that's
All
that's how we do it. So any employees out there watching us, remember, we've got great kids who want to come work for you
Absolutely.
and learn great skills. So come on out and let's talk.
Yes. All right. With that,
Go ahead.
I'm
Yes.
gonna go enjoy some coffee.
Yes, some
Yeah.
more coffee, and everyone have a great rest of your weekend.
All right. And let me get the mouse to work right.
Exactly. If there's no cat around, it should work.